a perfect day to do my starting rotation roster preview as pitchers and catchers report tomorrow. Super, super exciting. Absolutely cannot wait for 2020. This is the most hotly contested roster spot we have right now outside of third base. I've already covered that, so if you want to go and look for that and support me and subscribe, that would really help out. But the starting rotation is pretty set in the top four. You got Maple Maddox, Mike Soroka, who finished second in the Cy Young voting behind Jacob deGrom. Just absolutely shredded lineups across Major League Baseball all season long. It was so much fun to watch. Can't wait to see what he has in store for 2020, but he's our unquestioned ace in my opinion. You got Max Fried, who is coming off a breakout year with 17-win season. He's just got to get past that kind of wall. It seemed like when he got to the seventh inning, it just kind of seemed like he ran out of gas. So hopefully he'll be able to get over that hurdle in 2020 and become a 20-game winner. Why not? And then you've got Mike Foltynewicz, who bounced back very nicely in the latter part of 2019 after being sent down to Gwinnett to work things out mentally and just completely with his repertoire. And he came back guns a-blazing with a new repertoire. Adding that two-seamer really seemed to help him be able to change speeds from 98, 99 to 91, 92 and just go out there and pitch instead of seeming like he's just trying to throw it through Tyler Flowers or last year Brian McCann. So he had some very, very clutch moments for us. We're not going to talk about what the last game. That was just unthinkable. But 2020 is a new year, and I think about, I'll say 15 to 16 wins for Mike Foltynewicz. Yeah, you can tell me how crazy I am, but I believe in what Mike is going to do in 2020, and super excited about that. And also we added Cole Hamels, veteran left-handed pitcher, to a one-year, $18 million deal. And I love this even more because as I was doing a little bit research so I could sound a little smarter doing this video, all of our potential five-spot guys, or at least 3 out of the 6 that we have, feature a changeup, and Cole Hamels has one of the best changeups in baseball. So that influence could be even more profitable throughout the rotation. Not only the veteran guy that understands how to get consistently get MLB lineups out, having a guy that has a plus changeup around every day for our youngsters is going to benefit them so much down the line. Ian Anderson, Bryce Wilson, Touki Toussaint, Kyle Wright. It's just absolutely amazing, the plethora. Yeah, the SAT word of the day. I've been wanting to use that for some reason. Options that we've accumulated during our rebuild. We're finally seeing the fruits of those labors, and the 5th spot has that many options. The youngsters that I mentioned, and you got the veteran guy, Felix Hernandez, coming over from Seattle, trying to see what's left in the tank, and a lot of people are hoping he's the 2020 version of Anibal Sanchez, and so am I, because that would just be a really feel-good story, because Felix Hernandez was one of the best to do it for like a 3 to 4 year stretch, and just kind of lost it a little bit with mired by injuries and inconsistencies. Last year was just a forgettable year, 1-8 with a 640. So we'll see what he has. And also, he's a good changeup because all of our guys outside of Cole Hamels have a 93, 94 fastball and above. So that might be a nice changeup for opponents to face having to gear down a little bit, and sometimes they get a little too antsy, as we've seen, because 97, 98 is the norm. So when there's a guy that turns the dial back a little bit, it really screws up the timing for opponents. So that might be a nice little advantage that we would have if Felix Hernandez makes the rotation at the 5 spot. But my leader before spring training starts is Sean Newcomb, because he's done it before. We've seen him almost no-hit the vaunted Los Angeles Dodgers. Darn you, Chris Taylor. But I think him going down, figuring it out, coming back as a reliever, and taking that mentality of you've got to have it from pitch 1 out of the bullpen. I think if he takes that mentality to the rotation, that kind of bulldog, go right after mentality, don't be scared to walk people, don't nibble, I think that will translate so nicely to the 2020 rotation, and just the assortment of pitches he has. The fastball, curveball, slider. The fastball curveball combo is one of the best that we have, or that I've seen on our roster over the last couple of years. So just gotta hone that command, keep that bulldog, go right after mentality. But as we sit here today, Sean Newcomb is my favorite. But you've also got the young bucks, Ian Anderson, who went 7-5 with a 268 down in Mississippi, was a futures game starter with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball plus a changeup and curveball combination that has one of the more upper-tier spin rates that I've seen. So he could sneak in there. You've also got Bryce Wilson, who we've seen make a few spot starts and impress us with his 97, 98 fastball and changeup combination as well. But he along with Sean Newcomb, spotty command. Touki Toussaint as well. He's got fastball, curveball, nasty curveball that made Marcell Ozuna cry one time, I'm pretty sure. So you got that as well. He had one of the more difficult 2019 seasons overall, as he was a yo-yo from our rotation spot starts to the bullpen. I think it was better when he didn't know if he was going to start, to be honest with you, so he didn't think about it too much. But he was 1-9 with a 7.49 ERA in the minors, so he needs a bounce back. I really want him to be in our plans, but it just seems like he might be the odd man out, unfortunately, with his infectious smile and stuff. I don't want that to happen, but somebody's gotta help us in other areas. So Touki might be a swingman kind of trade, or if he steps up, who knows, might force our hand. But you also got Kyle Wright, who absolutely dominated the latter half of 2019 down in the minors with a 5-0 mark with a 2.5, I believe, ERA. Just absolutely mowed people down. Plus, he's got a bigger assortment of pitches with a plus fastball, plus slider, curveball, changeup. So he's got a lot of options to go to, and I think that might help, especially when you have more options. If your slider's not on, you can go to your curveball or your changeup. With some of these other youngsters, they only have 3, so it's an easier elimination factor for MLB hitters, and you want to make things as hard as possible for hitters to eliminate. So there's your options for our starting rotation 5 spot. There's a lot of great options, and I'm glad I'm not going to be making the decisions, but I'll definitely be watching. Cannot wait. My prediction: Sean Newcomb will earn